Episode 1. The Man Who Measured the World with a Shadow. A blinding white sun hangs over the golden domes of ancient Alexandria. The call of gulls, the distant creak of ships in the harbor, and a hush in the air that feels like the world itself is holding its breath. The year is 240 BCE. Somewhere in northern Egypt, a man is watching shadows. Not for poetry, not for myth, but for numbers. And in doing so, he's about to measure something no one had truly grasped before. The planet beneath his feet. Eratosthenes, the mind in the marble halls. Inside the great library of Alexandria, an ancient world supercomputer built from scrolls, lives a man of paradoxes, Eratosthenes of Cyrene, a poet, philosopher, astronomer, and head librarian. He's mocked by some for being beta, a second best in all fields, a master of none. But those who know him see the fire beneath the calm, an obsession with precision, a hunger to grasp the earth's secrets. He reads a traveler's tale from seeing far to the south, where on the summer solstice the sun casts no shadow. It shines directly down a well. That detail haunts him. In Alexandria, the sun casts a clear shadow the same day. Why the difference? Stick, a shadow, and a revelation. On the longest day of the year, Eratosthenes walks into the courtyard of the library. He plants a tall stick upright in the sun. As noon arrives, he measures the shadow it casts. Then he does the math. Simple geometry, but revolutionary in scope. The angle of the shadow is 7.2 degrees. That's 1/50th of a circle. If the earth were flat, the shadow would be the same in Siena and Alexandria. But it's not, which means the surface must curve. Using only the angle and the known distance between the two cities, measured in camel day journeys, Eratosthenes calculates Earth's circumference to within 1% of modern measurements. He shockwave his findings ripple through the scholarly world. Some are in awe, others are terrified. How could a man measure the planet without divine intervention, without myth, just numbers, whispers spread? He's using knowledge not meant for mortals. He didn't discover it. He remembered it. No one can be that accurate unless he's seen it from above. Jealous philosophers and rival schools begin quietly questioning his method and his motives. Cliffhanger. Forbidden knowledge. Late one night, Eratosthenes sits alone among the candlelit scrolls of the library. He traces a circle on a parchment, noting cities, angles, shadows, stars. Then a voice echoes from the darkened hall. It's a beautiful theory, but are you sure it's yours? He turns, but no one is there. Episode 2. Secrets in the Library of Alexandria. Opening shot. The camera floats through a maze of sandstone pillars as shafts of golden sunlight filter through hanging silk curtains. We hear the soft rustle of papyrus scrolls, the scratch of reed pens, and murmured debate in half a dozen tongues. Voiceover. There was a time when all the world's wisdom lived in one place, but knowledge is power, and power rarely survives unchallenged. The Library, Civilization's Memory Palace. The Library of Alexandria isn't just a building. It's the beating heart of the ancient world's collective mind. Housing hundreds of thousands of scrolls, it holds mathematical treatises, astronomical charts, medical doctrines, and maps. So many maps. Eratosthenes walks its halls like a man in a living dream. Each scroll he reads reveals a new layer of earth, sea, or sky. But some of these maps are strange, too precise, too advanced. Charts from Phoenician traders that show coastlines never officially explored. Star maps from Mesopotamia that chart planets visible only with telescopes. Documents in languages no longer spoken. He begins to suspect that some of the knowledge here is not Greek. Not even human in the way we understand history. The Forbidden Wing. There are sections of the library few are allowed to enter. One such room, hidden behind a statue of Thoth, is said to hold pre-Egyptian artifacts, scrolls salvaged from lost cities like Ugarit, Byblos, and older still. One night, guided by a cryptic clue in a Babylonian text, Eratosthenes ventures into this wing by lamplight. There, he finds a scroll sealed with a wax glyph not used in centuries. He opens it. The parchment reveals a map, but not of any land he recognizes. The coastlines are too smooth. The mountains look like they were drawn from above, and strange celestial notations, symbols never used by Greek astronomers, litter the margins. He gasps. This map should not exist. The fire days later, just as Eratosthenes prepares to present his findings to the Council of Scholars, tragedy strikes. A fire breaks out in the east wing of the library. Flames devour centuries of knowledge in minutes. Panic erupts. Scholars and scribes run through smoke-choked halls, carrying scrolls by the armload. Statues crack from the heat. Ink boil.
Excellent. Now we enter a darker, more fateful chapter, the rise of Ptolemy, whose brilliance will shape the world for centuries, but whose single miscalculation sets history veering into dangerous territory. This is the Golden Gospel with a hidden flaw episode, like a beautifully painted masterpiece hiding a crack beneath the surface. Clapperboard emoji, Episode 4, Ptolemy's Dream, Ptolemy's Curse. Greater than opening shot, a stylus scratches across papyrus. A vast map unfolds, revealing a geometrically perfect world, symmetrical, logical, serene. Greater than voiceover. Greater than what happens when a single mind redraws the world, and everyone else believes him. Africa emoji, the cartographer ascends. 100 years have passed since the fire at Alexandria. Much was lost. But one name begins to echo through the remnants of the ancient world like a new oracle. Claudius Ptolemaeus, Ptolemy. A mathematician, astronomer, and geographer, Ptolemy isn't interested in philosophical debates. He wants order, structure, and perfection. In Roman-ruled Alexandria, now a city of shadows compared to its golden past, Ptolemy works tirelessly inside a marble room with brass instruments and surviving fragments of Eratosthenes and Hipparchus' work. He doesn't just inherit their legacy. He rewrites it. Scroll emoji, the Geographia, a new world canon. Ptolemy compiles and publishes the Geographia, a massive volume of coordinates, maps, and instructions that offer a gridded blueprint of the known world. He catalogs over 8,000 places, cities, mountains, rivers, each with latitude and longitude. For a world still lit by oil lamps and sundials, this is a quantum leap in spatial thinking. His maps are not just representations. They become truth. His words, scripture. Greater than Ptolemy says, becomes a mantra from Alexandria to Byzantium. But here lies the quiet tragedy. One miscalculation. Compass emoji, the fatal flaw. Ptolemy underestimates the circumference of the Earth by nearly 30%. To him, the distance from Europe to Asia, westward across the ocean, is far shorter than it truly is. He adjusts the known geography to fit his theory. The known world expands unnaturally to the east, compressing the vast, unknown waters to the west. His mistake is buried beneath layers of otherwise flawless data. No one questions it. Why would they? Greater than he is Ptolemy, the mapmaker of gods. Link symbol emoji, a legacy cast in stone. For the next 1,400 years, Ptolemy's geography will shape how empires think. Islamic cartographers study him. Byzantine scholars copy him. Renaissance explorers worship him. But none of them realize, they are building roads, ships, and dreams on a false world. Ship emoji, cliffhanger, the misguided voyage. Centuries later, in a sun-washed study in Lisbon, a navigator opens a Latin translation of Ptolemy's Geographia. He runs his finger across a line of coordinates that suggest Asia is only weak saw,